My Sinchatan name is Scott Hualenach. That just says I own a reef net and a deer drive out in the Gulf Islands. And welcome to Tseaout. I'm 100% sure that if we had quicker infrastructure coming into the First Nation, and I think every First Nation knows how slow it is, this park could have been done many, many years ago. And it was a lot more costly because we still didn't have the proper infrastructure close enough to here.
My name is Rose Paul. I am currently the CEO for Bayside Corporate and also the Economic Development Initiatives Officer for Bucking Mi'kmaq Nation. We know what the problems are on the main part of the reserve, which we'd like to upgrade and upkeep our current facilities that we have on in Bucking. That'll be mostly residential right now. We've understand from our housing director that we're pretty much at capacity right now when it comes to our wastewater.
I'm Darlene Paul. I'm the Director of Capital and Housing for Bucking Mi'kmaq Nation. We're undertaking a study right now to find out how much of our equipment needs to be replaced or is inadequate at the moment, because we're hoping to upgrade it for our years to come, and just the increase in our community and our population. We're talking about grinder pumps, an actual the whole kind of SBS system. A lot of things, like right now we're repairing things as we go, so there's not a lot of forecasting, like we're kind of jumping to replace things or fix things that are broken, and that's happened over the years and whatnot.
The challenges is access to capital, and we've only get so much from Indian and Northern Affairs, and the rest of it, you've got to raise yourself. So that's where the FNII partnerships helps us to identify those projects and the cost recovery on those projects and work with the First Nation Finance Authority.
FNII will be established as a fourth opt-in institution through amendments to the First Nations Fiscal Management Act, FMA. The organization builds on the success of its sister institutions who already provide services and expertise to over 300 First Nations across Canada.
All the communities in British Columbia, we're not all the same. We're all different in some capacity, and it's even more so across Canada in the different regions. So we can't say this is the way it's done. We can give them the base model or get them the starting points and support on what they want to do. And that's what we should be doing, is what the community needs and how they want to do it.
FNII serves both First Nations and Indigenous organizations, providing as much or as little help as needed. Our staff and external advisors join forces with your project team for project development, knowledge transfer, and project delivery. As an Indigenous-led institution, FNII has benefited from leadership and guidance of a development board of Indigenous leaders from across Canada.
FNII will eventually be a grassroots because we have First Nation reps on the development board, and they won't be a development board, but they will be people representing their regions and really care about their regions. And so with our technical support, they have a real heart for our nations and develop a team that can move things forward way quicker than ISC ever did.
FNII is currently working with some proof of concept projects with First Nations and regional Indigenous organizations, including the First Nations Health Authority and the Atlantic First Nations Water Authority. To offer more support to more communities, we need to move out of this development phase and into an operational phase through amendments to the First Nations Fiscal Management Act.
We're funded by Indian and Northern Affairs, and so funding is limited because, you know, it's got to go to all the 633 bands across Canada. So in the Atlantic we have 13, and so we're always fighting for money to upgrade our systems, you know, kind of amongst each other. And so we're reaching out with the Water Authority right now, and we've also started working with the First Nations Infrastructure Institute.
We've been working with FNII since 2019 when we signed our partnership agreement. And with them, they've really assisted us to build an asset management map of our current assets and the growth of our community. So knowing what we are looking for, at least we can build ourselves to be shovel ready.
This is the stuff that we dreamed about in my 20 years as chief. And you don't have hands-on with government for your questions to move these things forward. But with a First Nation group like FNII, we have the people that we can talk to, the people that will come into our communities with technical support. I used to approach the elders as a chief and try to get direction with them. And they used to say to me, "What the hell do you think we elected you for? Get out there and do it." And I believe that's what we need to do. We don't need to be asking for permission. We just need to carry out the way forward that was taught to us by our elders.